Memo ache na memo akwa ba mfambra na watche dwumadie so Adom TV etwa ne ho so e wa sempa 94.7 FM na watche akwa ba batue bi we da sesa na peso bi wa fidie de amaye se ye meka ho ofie offices be a wo bia na yendwen oman Ghana ho Ghana ye dia kwa ye befa so ama Ghana etumpon no ene hia eno nti na ye memene da bia wo se me no osi nkonwa ne yedwendwen oman Ghana ho ne nsema ba na Nnawotwi Yi nsem bebre na asi yenyina enim se yenkoda omotna mo dru JHS3 Nnawotwi Yi mu no mo kiro mo BC over 600,000 people and etnaye ekiro BC eko ye yente asem bia asi nkofofo obi na ye kiro mo nse na omo indulge in examination malpractice and on crowd teachers to be a more central ye de omo ama police da finance ministry ho abansem papa shall fi omo over 60 billion losses be a ebemu na enomu ena minority editor just say omo right of kabia na ban eduomo 32 billion cedis under the domestic debt exchange program no na parliament minority ne ka say Nyadia sector minister edeba mrashe bedwemu ansa ombedisa adwuma no minority no threaten say nam sa anti say Bank of Ghana central bank penino governor Dr. Addison ene penny for so omo resign a omo ankasa beba na omo aba before so omo say omo mfi office ho fi say Nyadia omo adwuma no eso ani na IMF so ebemu Akoshin Bank of Ghana say sika na omulusu ye no so omuhwe na omusisi omanamo ye na sansam no ansa ensibium ensam no doso na Nnawotwi Yi mu so beto dwasa Bank of Ghana almost spending $250 million at the a new head office wo Ridge yakoho ye de no nsumfo ni be kire omo se omo old office na nyade a se asase woso bi ba ebetumi agina no entino omusi new office almost spending $250 million eno no yebodomo esuko na ma mesisi abenada pansem so de ase entwada se Nnawotwi Yi mu so beto dwa se o asem ne mpo no eba edikan ba ye no eko juvenile court court unim se abaya oye the suspect one no or after the word 18 years nti asam na ba na onya 18 no ade ekopie juvenile court na ese ho no enya ade a na yakase sika na involved no ya wiaye anyankasa ho na ye bisa se eba ne sei na ekoba sa attorney general na onimwei ana saying na nei debate na sha bio because yenim say World Bank aka kire o man baako ewo Africa ha se enam so mo apase anti-gay bill ninti enya de a World Bank behwe na wasan ma o musika biom ne no na US ambassador to Ghana Virginia Palmer enso ebo Ghana kokko se yenhwe ne yefi se ye passe anti-gay bill na ya de a ebe affect foreign business interest ewo Ghana ha eno na Sam George so there to just say as a World Bank person or Mochichira Africa, countries here in Saguyachi, you want to say, and also ya dia betoja Nnawotwi Yi mu. Ye ko North East nsu eto kakrano ebubu bridges bebre ema ete North East ho edifia ye wo Southern hano na ye kasa ye no a na ye Deputy Minister for Roads and Highways Ora Stephen Jalula ebo anan ekodru apem ho a mo hwe kwan obetumi afaso na oma salvage ne ekoso ho no na Nnawotwi Yi mu nso ebeto dwa se the Economic Community of West Africa state I friend ECOWAS omo ekohia o Nigeria ato adwen esindwa esine pise ne ekoso wo Niger no omo ma military junta no some period say omo nhwe na omo mfa power no ma the democratically elected government in biom ora basum edi anim no omo nhwe na omo mfa omo nsi akonwa no so biom eno no military junta no enyeye nti ECOWAS ekosi nkonwa ewo Nigeria Abuja ena omo jitu omo kan say nia ye ne de so omo di military ekọ Niger ho no mkwohwe se mbema pepereyo you know Ato Yi na minority NDC so say no ECOWAS ntumi nka se omode you know omoko e de military akọ na enu po se basa Ghana ye military no bekọ a e se ministry no eba parliament ebeje go ahead and some watumi aye eno so ebesi nkonya na ya dwendwen ho nti nei ye hwe ECOWAS nsensam se ne esi aba ene Bank of Ghana de ye bisa se ECOWAS omumfa sojafo enko Niger na omunkotu eye military junta na na set saying ye bedwendwen ho ye wi a ye bisa se BOG Bank of Ghana eka omabono ese se Bank of Ghana governor ora Dr. Ernest Addison ordinary njuma to ho no fie konwa no so ana ete saying ye ba bedi enkomo ye ho omo ameni omo bedi adwuma we ana ye be hwe mpensempensem no Dr. Sadiq Edu Chum on the acting director Institute for Intelligence and Strategic Security yenene bedi enkomo Adib Sani security expert obedwane ye ne yedi enkomo Paul Grave Boache Danko government spokesperson on governance obekansa e studio dada yenene bedi enkomo yeni da kwan se Ora Eric J deputy communications officer for Bono region oba kansa na yene no edin komo dwumedi ayedi onim se da bia da no wadwenkyere yade yeni da kwan pa yeni je ho fi se yene na di dwumen enti okọ social media na wahwehwe Adom TV mbacho dwumedi etwa no ho ewo ho ja wadwenkyere na wase na mmommo asem no ente se hote a behwe ebefa na yakan mo bia so ohwe ye na otie ye nso ewo asempa no etumi atene ya wo nso wodwen efa nsama yedi nkomo ho ye from Samuel Kojo Brace. I'm just a voice me gine muma team akuku dam edi anim na omo bodwume ho omo boaboa no se ye mfa mreo ye twa ye ho tew na ye ba nsam no ye bebie bia ni mako na yetumi adwenwen ho ne ye ntena ye ba yisia. Okay, memo akwaba bio aha Nnawotwi Yi dwumedie wa Adom TV etwa ne ho so ewo Asempa 94.7 FM bebia wo bia na kwaba yencha se emfi ECOWAS omo decision say omo de military junta ebeko Niger. Now West African leaders Asia ewo Abuja Nigeria yawade twemi and omo kan say omo hwe ne ekwedi a ade also mode military eko Niger no mkwohwe se bibia etumi atoto yie ye nyina enim se soldier for agi tumi efi democratically elected government and ye ka say the democratically elected president Orabasum is under house arrest na no na ECOWAS ko shia ya o say ni ekwe de entumi ntena na ye nhwe fi se de ano aka so monhwe emfa tumi enim ma papa ne bio omo anye ese omo buye nimtia enti no o se etumi de ye nso ye force edeko na the president of ECOWAS commission Omar Aliu Ture edin samwe tujwa abra omo hye ewo Abuja Nigeria na wotwe omu ye nkonkoti ni ye ba ye bedi ho nkomo
extensively discussed the latest development in Niger since the last extraordinary summit held on 30 July 2023, noted that all diplomatic efforts made by ECOWAS in resolving the crisis have been defiantly repelled by the military leadership of the Republic of Niger, taking note of the expiration of the one-week ultimatum given for the restoration of constitutional order in the Republic of Niger, decide as follows. A, reiterates its strong condemnation of the attempted coup d'etat and the continued illegal detention of President Mohamed Bazoum, his family, and members of his government. B, further condemns the condition in which President Bazoum is being detained and hold the CNSP fully and solely responsible for the safety, security, and physical integrity of President Bazoum, members of his family, and government. C, uphold all measures and principles agreed upon by the extraordinary summit held on Niger on 30th July 2023, underscore the determination of the ECOWAS authority to keep all options on the table for the peaceful resolution of the crisis, enforce all measures, in particular border closures and strict travel bans and assets freeze, on all persons or groups of individuals whose actions hinder all peaceful efforts aimed at ensuring the smooth and complete restoration of constitutional order. Warn member states who, by their action directly or indirectly, hindered the peaceful resolution of the crisis in Niger, about the consequences for their action before the community. Call on the African Union to endorse all the decisions taken by the ECOWAS authority on the situation in Niger. Further, call on all partner countries and institutions, including the United Nations, to support ECOWAS in its effort to ensure a quick restoration of constitutional order. Muhammadu Saad Abubakar, the Sultan of Sokoto, Ambassador Baba Kingibe, for the special envoy missions undertaken in Niger, Libya, and Algeria on behalf of the Chair of Authority. Express gratitude to His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and Chair of the ECOWAS Authority, for convening the extraordinary summit and for the manner in which he has been conducting the affair of the community as.
All right, Tinti, and the president of ECOWAS Commission, Omar Alain Toure, in Sama, or the two ja, ewo summit nase, no. Well, a deep sunny security expert, Robert Cancer, ewa homano, so, or joining via Zoom, yen in Dinkum. Adib, me watching, be our code.
Boko, Minia, who's way?
Yanko Podi, chair, papa. Well,
I want to edit me, sorry.
Ebe say what's a pullover, but just I don't want to watch a biakan and your bad, sir.
My shirt is say 5. Number 5.
Anyway, interesting. Ebe well, we are being faced with, a very huge challenge from Niger. West Africa leaders at now will say near Kono, Burkina Ekoye, Mali Ekoye, Niger Eko. So they be a yet none ye Casani and Tuana Moa, as a neoma en koji, in terms of idea, ye the force no Eko. From the security point of view, this is in way, Uhune saying.
Yo, would I say, Mamincha Mamincha Welbeck, Walanyo, any acquisition, Siamunina, Juma Paa, Muye Magana. Ampa, in the past, many other analysts, they are criticizing ECOWAS, you see, ECOWAS, or Muti say, Krame, Minim said the Bukanu tree, a dog that barks but doesn't bite. Ye didi keke, but and to mean kabubia. Anti Guinea, Omoye Ku, Burkina Faso, Mali, na yewa attempted coup and ewo Guinea Bissau, Chad, Idris Deby, ni papa wuye, also unconstitutional means or J. Aquiniano. Yenyina ni madia currently a consul was Senegal. Na President Macky Sall also per se on extended ni stay. Omuye demonstrations be currently as many ukasano. Omwa gu complete disbanding of opposition was Senegal. Omoichi Osman Songo Onuna Oye opposition leader. The whole West African subcontinent, gidi chaos everywhere, and I expect to say ECOWAS as mother institution would instill some order. Unfortunately, on one to me, yes, sir. So I think sir, Niger asemno beyet to say ECOWAS omo pese omon change opinions and our perceptions. Junior nipa what with respect to the fact that omon to me yeshi, and in an attempt to doing so, omu over. Because immediately after the coup, now me expect to say Omube sends the delegation so that Omuni coup leaders no Omube kasa. Then after that, maybe Omube ye biom, maybe me and sa Omube ye biom. So Omwan making any progress and sa kasano anko nima, then Omube to impose sanctions. But immediately Omusi border closure. Land, your friend, air closure, sanctions, anyhow. But my own way, if you say sanctions, no, and yet Niger can be affected Ghana for. I mean, as many of Kasa we mean ya. Only say onions, ne boa akosoro.
Yeah.
Because now, almost ton bag, about 900 Ghana cedis. Actually, yet to say 1,000, 5,600 Ghana cedis. And according to market analysts, survey, I bet me for 3,000. So,
as we speak, in over 70 trucks and Kamode annual bagan and Omunina lock up on the borders of Benin.
And from nowhere, almost see a pese young kuntakwa. Almost see no peace is ever too bad, no war is ever too good. There's no way at a point. There's no way at a point to see and yet. There's no way to see a yet. They be Nemon Kosa because Kusa and Takwano affected whole West African sub-region. Anytime you're complaining about the way our Omorani economy, according to World Bank, say last year, close to 1 million Ghanaians after Omuya on here for. Additional 1 million last year. So Ghana Statistical Service almost published almost every earlier this year, almost see a lot of Abrantium Omuni Juma Omo school, Omunishi, a bulk number of them. Okay, and inefficiencies when you blaming on COVID-19, any Russia invasion of Ukraine. So after you say unkuntakwa ewo or backyard, so you can imagine
but wow, I say one other security expert, they be a mokase ECOWAS. I say, Sebio or Pokeke on Tumina or Onka. And Tisafi was just okay. Me poka crana say, and governing tea into me pesemeka. And Yanni Amoshan ECOWAS, no.
Good. So before you better assessments be brave, okay. Even armed robbers, ni omu yani paboni for, but before omu beka operation, omu yes surveillance any adi. So, in the name of your pese and kagidi yakwa, I bet me for so be very your economy, your buying bossem, because there was serious militant activity in Niger. Al Qaeda, ISIS affiliated groups, Omuohopa, Bebre, America, and France for Omar Kusan Takwanusa to the extent, say, 2017. Your first massacre, ambush, Tungu ambush, will be up, say, on Google, I'll bet you are Google. Tungu, Niger, or Mu ambushi, America, any Nigerian as soldier for, or Muku, American soldier for a 9. And it became a huge political storm, Washington, in politically. And so you're careful because Al Qaeda, any ISIS for no confusion. So confusion no her, then they take advantage to reassert more authority, or which we are reorganizing, or which we are re-equip, then probably re-strategizing and start, going after countries. When he said a confusion in na Al-Shabaab or Mugi so much stronghold was Somalia, because after Omuyi Siad barrier. Somalia. Now, the central administration, then Al-Shabaab quickly came in. Sudan in the 1990s, Al-Qaeda almost gaining grounds were harmed because of the confusion. Then and so many other countries are terrorists or take advantage of confusion to establish their bases.
But and yet to prevent that Antina ECOWAS yentumi ma saa nneɛma no nkɔ so nti yɛma democratically elected president no until so that conditions wey emba na Al-Shabaab ne ISIS mo ne ade from ho ngye no.
Okay, so as a foreign policy person, your strategies are your use. So mean to mean canina ever so, but surely a soldier should be the last resort. Your number people one of it, I mean, young continue with the sanctions regime, then at the same time, we negotiated already it be more traditional rulers, including Madame Fo, Lamido Sanusi, or Koshio. Then after that, Omuko, Algeria and other countries. When him say, Chad, even though I'm a member of ECOWAS, they will not be part of it. Algeria, ECOWAS, they have, they have been categorical. Almost they be will not be part of it. Libya because your course only Libya, there will be massive inflow of into Niger from Libya, and through Nigeria, it will not end there. There will be a trickle-down effect, littoral region, especially Ghana, Togo, Benin, NARD. Burkina Faso, Omuni Mali, for almost any act of aggression against Niger, act of war against us. And also, so what it means is your cause our intervention, a trace, Yeni Burkina Faso, your next door neighbor, your Kuntakwa. And very dangerous. So I think ECOWAS almost concentrating on the other side. But most importantly, I would expect ECOWAS a better on working to improve Nema and create a conducive environment for coups to happen.
Okay.
Because a litany of issues, so many are and some way, and sometimes people feel that to be honest with you, a soldier for a draw for like magic wand or mobile, then overnight things don't work that way. Besides, a soldier for there's no accountability. We are democracy being new. Mali just recently, when him say Omuku demonstrators be demonstrating over the fact that Omuni Johnny, Omuni Su, any adi, Omuku community leader no. So there's no justification for coup, but that notwithstanding, then dealing with that issues of youth unemployment, issues of human rights violations, issues of manipulation of constitution, so that may check so. But it is ECOWAS, they don't seem to be paying attention to some of these fundamental issues. Okay, Alassane Ouattara, no Akonyano so first, second, Afi was sister Mrano or third. Okay, Adam Abaro also or first, second, Afi Opese uncle third. Macky Sall also, but just that Senegal for almost they be penny. Guinea, and also Alpha Conde at that time, also Opesa third, and also it became issues. So ECOWAS almost sister because we say, all my opinion, Nana for at the time, or ECOWAS chair, or second term, because according to them, no more reforms be and per se, be truncate reforms, and I'm here to know reforms, whether it's been activated because. I would expect say pay attention to some fundamental issues. Ufe African Charter on Democracy, Governance, any elections. Chapter 8, Article 23, very specific about constitutional rules. Almost a soldier form obese Sam Morano to continue his stay in power, and also a constitutional coup. And now who engage in electoral malfeasance, who we are. in an election, a constitutional coup. It says a soldier for no. So yeah, let's pay attention to some of these other issues.
So it's because of a normal way internet man for be attempted to change the constitution. I mean, what are like you mentioned, some other state, So the people ending the attitude that leaders in put up say, more time never swan, no more per extension, and that's the basis for all of this, right?
Absolutely. Any other issues? Because already Murantano because okay, widespread corruption.
Okay.
Politicians media freedom so is not guaranteed. But ukasa, you know that there are implications. Okay, so sad no money because meaning say economy, me kasa at least a very reduce a buffalo, but economy now so at the same time into me kasa. So I want it create an incendiary cocktail. I bet you me are exploding. But my main car assembly, you see me a student of security by Mbosem, I mean, me who be me to me research, get to the fundamentals, understand what the issues are. The fact that Obika Assembly was TV so and our radio so minjitum sao, they be me a researcher. Me who say massive disinformation about Niger, Omoni, France for any idea. The thing is, and I can see that there are third-party forces responsible for Saadi, okay? Almost France, because uranium biome Niger, energy security is in danger, they be yes, France, 10% of uranium and free Niger. When him say more reserve of uranium and your friends and energy resources for over 10 years, even from biome. Secondly, meaning say France, Niger, with respect to stemming the tide of terrorism. So we share statistics, where the Asema Mikano meaning say it be movie, they will not be happy about, but that's the truth. We share statistics, Burkina Faso, Mali, and other countries who compare it to Nigeria, we realize that Niger has made massive gains so far as countering violent extremism is concerned. Number of attacks from according to Global Terrorism Index, last year, the most impacted country by terrorism, Afghanistan, followed by Burkina Faso. But after Taliban's so next year it is expected that Burkina Faso would be the most impacted country by terrorism in the whole world. We are seeing so a lot of gains has been made. Niger. Mayantia CSA military government, and also is not as formidable as people think because there were three interests at stake here. There were presidential guard, and na Chanifi. There were main army, okay, regular army. The third one, and special forces. So omu try say omu bema main army, omu penyin your friend Modi. Onu na obenye oman penyin at the point of see they be mean pay. Afi omu see special forces, omu commander onye penyin. Afi or see they be. So there are machinations, control from other sources. And yet Chan in all like the power figure. Niger, DB. So a bit unstable and nuanced. Okay, so with your own research, you just consume whatever people tell you, and your own see the way. So military regime, shaky. It's very shaky. And at any time, I bet me collapse. So I'm sure and ECOWAS should be very strategic about the way confront society, And France, obviously, France, where we are, Niger, and but unim say me blame France.
Okay, so Adibunim, maybe back to you now. Why explore the angle of Russia? because we've seen Russian flags being hoisted by more demonstrations near the and again on the angle I can say it looks that the military palace guards and any strong isn't it an opportune time say ECOWAS Borema on between and winning way but hold on for me in a member studio Paul Grave Boache Dankwa a government spokesperson on governance and security or Obinsu and any Ebuaka North constituency on the ticket of the MPP. Paul Grave, good morning.
Good morning. Oh, yeah.
Well, you share the Nigerians and some Samomuke. I mean, you've heard Adib there. They say the palace guard no any strong, but again, military intervention is not the way to go. If you said then or year around, or say year around this time, need to mean we need what's happening in Niger.
Kojo mamintia na French ya ema with for na washefo. Na yanka say it's very unfortunate. Say Niger akwakodu baby omo akwakodu. There's been a bit of a precedence kakra in the sub-region of West Africa. ECOWAS heads of states, community of heads of states, protocols bebre omode toto hono. Now, as part of their protocols, the major tenet, to protect democratically elected governments. So, you can say, abain bi democratically elected, not just a chromaino and atuaba ama nipa bako se ombra no be diomoso.
Okay.
Now, ECOWAS no ejina ho and make sure say ombe protect all democratically elected government. Abaya democracy no kwan so e de afa yi no so mbra no be so me follow Niger nkomo no issues no very very worrying ade a ahomtiye pa nanso ECOWAS into me ngina ho no enhwe emma omwanka so mo member state Niger eka ho say President Bazoum omaye palace coup d'etat Achinatu. It's a some bomode na omode imrabi to For us, definitely as a country and even as a government, you are part of ECOWAS since 1975. You are participating in all protocols of ECOWAS. You are also participating in all ECOMOC related military interventions. Ediasumde Aba. In recent times, in this Fourth Republic, Sombekaya, Laurent Gbagbo, 2011. Now on Pese, Obe hand over, Ama Hassan Ouattara.
Yeah.
ECOWAS, on the last resort, ASA, on the military intervention. In recent times, Gambia, Banjul, Yajame, no some Pese, Obe hand over. In fact, a state of emergency for over 3 months, 90 days. ECOWAS can say omode military intervention. In the wisdom of President Nana Danko Ekufu, at the time I know two-term ECOWAS chair. Or set up initiative be a friend Accra initiative. That's our Accra initiative. There are 7 member states omutumi share intelligence and omutumi gather intelligence amongst themselves. Niger a very strong member of the Accra initiative. Inti asema esi within the sub-region of West Africa. But clearly, as I see, making sure, say, asumdue ebeba. Me read the proponents bebre, 18 bebre. I think say beyond the standby military force na yede babe ko Niger and making sure say asumdue ebeba no. A strong level of diplomatic incommodity. Because sa okunwe no diplomacy and yedebe winning. Over the last week, Nnawotwi Yi Emir of one of the emirs of Kano, Sanusi, Eko Niger, and Omukoko Dinkomo. To be fair, I think so. Most special envoy Kromo Sumai, Sultan of Sokoto Krani, he was not allowed to meet the Nigerian juntas. But as you see a bomode na say Niger would return back to democratic governance. Now president to watching that they should release the president. Now in Komodieni be into Minkonenim. esan say democracy, tenets of democracy, freedom of association, freedom of political involvement, freedom of religion, freedom of human rights, freedom of expression, and a freedom of media participation. Now say share stronger democracies a war we are na gradually Africa as a continent and the various blocks in Africa, from the western bloc to the central bloc to the eastern bloc to the southern bloc to the northern bloc, the various blocks your democracy in tintin ye. But by and large, I see a bomb you making sure say our democracy it to me a movie from mid-weak to strong.
But say, whoever can say your democracy in tintin but some of these leaders and so and then your more years say a young more harm person major power and Trump person de constitution dia agrono and a shank of before. Now if you look at Neakos or West Africa, we've had one in a Burkina Faso, right? Nina no ya dia no mo engineer president no ye ho. We've had Mali, Yenyabi Chad. We've had some in Guinea. Unim Salasan Ouattara so I extended constitution I extended the time of when you na ya dia nkofo ninjo. So leaders nankasa ye the democratic means to abamo and they supposed to be blamed for the economy.
Oh, Kojo, to be fair, ECOWAS a frowning on constitutional extensions. But I see a kind to say every member of ECOWAS a sovereign state.
That's true.
In their sovereignness, as I say, Kromumino, Ebomodin, and making sure say democratically elected leaders, they don't, and this almost some constitution. But when it comes to the attention of ECOWAS, about ECOWAS for attention, ECOWAS almost always tries to say, modern and making sure say these things are prevented. But you see, the power resides in the people. ECOWAS there a collection of heads of state. One of them, and it's only making sure that democracy is not flaunted upon. Into some of their member states, some will try a constitution, in sense ECOWAS almost always and making sure say Sanyamano AC. But the power resides in citizens of those countries now. Mampenino per se, almost sa constitution. These things will not come to fruition.
How can we tell? Said those decisions, they are citizenry, backing, so that ECOWAS can then decide, okay, because your citizens backed it, when government of Ghana now also created regions, there was a referendum. So we all so then you know that it's backed by it. But these people, parliament and control parliament, extension. And no problem I was say ECOWAS initial say maybe the root cause of all of this is the disappointment of citizens in government and the how to rectify to really put a stop to all of this.
Because there's ECOWAS parliament. Now, meaning say ECOWAS parliament every now and then almost share in name see in other parliamentary institutions the sub-region of West Africa. A number of times, Sanyama Weber or more attention, they try to draw from the interpretation of the law. It was a chrome honor. Senebeya, Sanyama no NC. But Sesia no Niger in Seminabano, very worrying. Because Burkina Faso and Mali, Edo Muajim say whatever it takes, almost support the military takeover of President Bazoum. And then also a former rebel leader, Minister for Tourism in Niger. And so I can say, Obe making sure, say Obe overthrow military juntas. In Yemana a very, very different uniform session. But the advice and the counsel to the Nigerians military junta, and even from ECOWAS, any more sanctions on the other and they say, I see making sure that we are having a diplomatic incommodity. Nebema military juntas, as a so more drain a year way incommodia, we learn from precedents. sanctions are yede to honum we are seeing yede to honum ema Russia yehu adverse effects ewo we are see afanenya all well and good sanctions are ECOWAS ede to honum ama Niger no so we closely airspace Ghana for ye evacuate omo fi Niger no ye dey omo back through the land through Beninua corridors na what you train no ya sha say evacuate Ghana for bebre some mumbra back home to safety. The Ghana mission in Niger, any Ghana for Asia, making sure say omo person mo bano because say you voluntary, omo person mo bano. A buying making sure say o take cost ni nya amomunya babedu Ghana asumdiem. Inti sanctions Nigeria for akate power. Na power Nigeria for akate no you know say boni bebre we are see for name omudi no mdu osum. Inti sanctions ni bi won ma very 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 strong. Now if the Nigerians janted it to survive these sanctions then it's going to be a very difficult situation. I say you're straight into the future. But I would admonish say the Nigerians themselves, ECOWAS, the military standby force obia co inside into Niger, they should ensure say almost have diplomatic conversations because so be kratu na onipa fufuro kratu a otu obeto but so wo kratu na wonim senia wo be handle tuo na eno na yetumi na okra no enti tumi ne say wo tuo no wonim se otu a ebeku obi a na ebe probi nso wo se wonto but wo de kasa ene be kasa enti the coming days in India, we need to watch out and see how things would unfold because the sub-region of West Africa is not extremely stable.
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 All because of leaders no buying. When Obia Babam, Obiba no be weaken the institutions of accountability and transparency, you know, or years such that the institutions cannot even live up to or more mandate their more. Sometimes you look at the opulence lifestyle of these leaders. I'm mindful no ebufo. In yet time I was say ECOWAS etna. Now omo ye introspections then ko yinti amaye nkwa because if you take Africa now change into blocks the most unstable part is here be enye yedi anameboa.
Oh, by and large, yes.
So it's not time to say ECOWAS. Etna no more introspection being say maybe enye nko for na ye and we have to look at it. Shouldn't ECOWAS it is almost you know punishment be a stringent at the bar. So won kratize nyankala san watara ye. Once onye stende na yina pananka sanctions be akwama no. Wouldn't that also be a solution?
ECOWAS there, Kojuni, I met you mechanic say every now and then, you're very strong with sanctions. In fact, some of the countries in the cry suspend you from ECOWAS.
When is a military takeover? But
no, the matter maker say there are a lot of the countries now you suspend you more if you ECOWAS. It's say near community no ejidi no. Sa krono ne leader no empese omo bejiedi. Inti the ECOWAS community no suspend you say they will not benefit from that whole esprit de corps we feeling community togetherness within the sub-region. But you see, ECOWAS is a stronger bloc. I see Abomodina encourage you as a stronger bloc because issues now are rising. Is see who the end of it. But all the issues now rising now is gradually within Francophone West Africa. Francophone West Africa almost some level of peculiarity there. We need to study it. In recent times, Matisse Mali for a official language of French in Ifeonoma, since you almost accept about 13 local languages
as the official language.
As the official language. All of it now gradually in maybe SSA. ECOWAS yes, clearly ECOWAS has there be almost reforms almost steady reforms and almost steady climate on the democracy some of them it may not come into the media domain because every now and then they are always having consultations with the leaders of the countries se ne be ya peace ECOWAS there de bia peace ya de a ehom pa peace asumdie and then also ECOWAS also the ehom pa so the lives of the people so nipa ho kwa ehia ECOWAS because the military coup d'etat ba the stability ba it impacts even the sub-regionals effort in bringing investors from the globe into the region. Because the region is not stable.
Paul gave watch it Dan Kwana Hotel in Kano. Young Kwane Dr. Sadiq Educhum, the acting director, Institute for Intelligence and Strategic Security. Doc, Memache na memo akwa no join you on phone. Doc, a man for can say using force may probably end the solution I here now. Yen as we him say I said the ECOWAS block, what you say Africa moving to blocks I see a party AI unstable. Near FCA quite troubling. Debe inquiry bet me a fast way bit delay with it. I find you na you be reach a compromise na bibia to ye.
Yo, mame doctor Minya na me fa injection confirma oye one ashofo no nye etefu anope wo say na wo share oye big network. Minya no wa wodin kan amde wa baba insem no araye na share oye Africa ha since 2010, over 40 coups, any attempted coups, and a SC or Africa. Emu efa 20 no, ninano SC or West Africa, including a friend saying Sahel Chad. If we share since 2019, coup 7 experienced 7 coups. Both attempted and then successful ones. Out of this, 6. Every French-speaking countries are former French colonies. Inti, I say in Comodina aye kaninano. Military junta no anamo tua. Yenina aye jitu say offer a dear friend say. Nipa asitina asomdwe esi ho any other friend say democracy no any governance na they are na esafata aye na ya diatum since 1990 your friend no friend say the third wave of democracy no ya diatum say other friend say elections and ya dey beyi yen ndanofo ama oman biara owo wiase including West Africa no in Yoma Bia ACCA, Abrina, I say, ye try say, ye boot ye niguso, na BBC sia, na ye deni acordine only the action of the people. But ayana, you say, in 2040, a dia ni hono moa, and I say, who say dia ni hoa, a ja eniasie. And see, dia ACC no, a day, and a emano eb. I think say to me address the root cause of some of this coup d'etats now, both institutional coup d'etats and then military coup d'etats now. And no, and able to me, I guarantee that ultimate peace now, yes, and no money be anything. Me funnel a fenua, me funnel internal factors. Internal factors be anything. Bad governance. Who share the AC West Africa Sambri? Who share a member boy, member burning ayebua? Your leaders are so selfish, so greedy, amassing wealth, corruption, was through any mismanagement of state resources. Emma Timemufo, Edi Onya, Edi Eko Ahuchemua. And no. Ebasana na ye feature say address those issues. Yeba injustice, marginalization, yeka constitutional tampering. All these things are factors are edu pepensubia etumede dia ye nyina ye ka se enye no ediba esu a former French colonies esu no ana ECOWAS any AU no ometie sa esu no ewo supreme make attempt ombese omo correct sa ade no se de ayetete no no kre na nhwehwemu so akre se beta France se wote wo memu na se wo sikadwa wenya se wo de koto obi oman foforo central bank na wankasa kra wo hia bia afianse na wakọ bomu bitia anasa wakọ jibia enna ende sa sovereignty a ye ka no eno hifa na ewo enna wo ba ECOWAS Constitutive Act anasa protocols any the treaties a draw every AU Constitutive Act any UN charter no it talks about one peaceful resolution of conflict among member states of the union through such appropriate means as may be decided upon by the assembly. But the etwaso where Article 4E, Article 4F, SA, prohibition of the use of force or threat to use force among member states of the union. Sa power CB and ECOWAS draw free AU and also talks about non-interference by any member state in the internal affairs of another. Nti se oman bi te ho na ohwe se ne nhyehyeye ne sikasemu ene amembu no omubu no eyade ekotia oman no se oman no entumi nkonkan na timemufo eka na se ye leaders no entumi anhwe kwan befa so a omo be hyehye amatimemufo no so omo ho atomwa because ECOWAS ankasa so preachi ade a o say ECOWAS for the people, not ECOWAS of the state. Inti dia ECOWAS ankasa kwa HNS wo oman dia ni dwumedia odin esese ohun se eye timemufo no na omuhunya kane ba sisi ano wo ba na wo hwe kwan a amembu no ekoso ewo Africa and West Africa kankan the whole thing is like a cabal omo ehwe se omo mo ho betom na timemufo dodo na nkasa no omukwa ahokyeremu eno na edisa no manyina ba nti yesa na ye bra se course enye no esese ye hwe se sa no manyina no yedi fanse ya hwe atoto niye etoso mienu eye external influence ECOWAS na nkasa wo na nkasa no ende ne ho omo jumadi ahoro mudi omo tikasemu ne dodo na wo behwe se FBA na efi amanone nti ema eya omwana muntu bi oso mutu no eya na eye challenge kaka de amom eno so eya de esese ye hwe kwamba na ebe fasa ye behwe se yetumi eka ye hobom na yetumi ensure say that independence of the ECOWAS state na nkasa ewo ho na nkasa yetumi di ye ho nkomo yetumi di ye hudwa sambra ye kase COVID bae Nigeria eclose in body nkofo entumi nko we look at the things that are happening in Nigeria na say obeka say you the force and na say you solve issues and that was your first attempt and I say first resort it was wrong enti menua boache dankwa ya adwen ene friends adib sani ya adwen say say you explore all the avenues ECOWAS nankasa lay down diplomatic preventive measures ye will be a very secret they have to do this thing na if you know you share a friend say dialoguing or say dialogue ye anobaba na yema ye nuanom na ti asese no crisis so ampase edia noma bi touchma ewo manimu na nso ensam pata say ye de etuo ebeyi aban a amanfo ni nyina ede omkokomoti eyi na esi wono ye beyi egu nti no ye nhwe kwan ye befa so a ye de yie betu yie na mom say ye gina ho na ye say na Nigeria ankasa no they have a little bit of a challenge because Oma Baye to say West African superpowers and now Oma no do na sometimes kwa omofa somebody Oma de ya no money ndi ho papa nti say ye hwe na hu say dia ye nyina ya kan si ho no ma be ye dia no eno na say tu sa anamo no eno economic freedom of the people we need to create jobs for these young guys youth are suffering in Africa your friend is in Shishoma say the youth in Africa forms about 19% of the world population of youth. Inte usha na tese ye doso ara yi.
Bra yen konkofa the drawer air koso ye ba back we explore the other angles. Only enter is ye ba ye call a NLA ne ba ye ba Dr. Sadiq Educhum that's why ha Sadiq aya deep sunny that's so ejina zoom no so ye ne on beto aso na mum ye nko NLA na ye nko hwe ye drawer air koso na bia na obi aye lucky e we ni bibi gina ye ba Nti me ma kwa babio Enfambra Nnawotwi Yi Adom TV and Asempa 94.7 FM. Well, Game Park or more draw na e ko share no na winning number for a 12 August. And a numbers no 1 4 7 and 5. Numbers winning numbers for Game Park and 12 August and 1 4 7 and 5. Nti no any numbers no men call Dr. Sadiq doc entina na wo kan sem na me bisa say obobo numbers of QSC or Africa dodo aye in West Africa bisa say dey entina say ye parts no and they susceptible to these schools bibi o wa LC hu
Yes answer na me koso no I clarify. I think that I am not the acting director for the Institute for Intelligence and Strategic Security.
Okay.
Currently, I'm a fellow with WASI, that is the West Africa Center for Counter Extremism.
Okay.
And then a lecturer with Prince Coast University. The okay. Can say, our mind be a war. And as a regional block, there are more problems. Now, over West Africa, historically, there are ACCC, and something new. From the days of Rawlings, Thomas Sankara, the rest of military guys are taking over various governments, And no more bringing in omo ejinaso taking over democratically elected government in recent times. And I'm just taking it from since 2019. Yenya 7 coups, 6 French-speaking countries. Part of the ECOWAS bloc.
Okay.
Sa nkrofo nyina no yen hwe se injina so ben one Emmanuel Adib Ekasefa insurgency jihadist issues they are all battling with and no one. Two, let's look at the governance issues amembu na omubu no kwan be na omufa so omubu sa amembu no na asiyen hwe the peculiar nature running through all the African countries. Over Ghana ha, and yet different. It's just that nobody and a juma edema in Ghana for no. As I'm ready, me to me the mesa estimable akase Ghana ye yade. And namsa institutions dia yet to me edi asiho. Ye di shese ye peace and security architecture no edimu na efi friends and security sector governance no so edimu no. And only be na aboyen. But who share their 80 of French African countries now? A lot of the things borders on external issues. And if you know, I dear friend say that constitutional tampering, about issues of unemployment. I mean, generally, with the kabomwa, economic insecurities are all these countries, and no, the issues are. As I say, leaders, it's nothing. No, and that's all they know it. They know it of all these things. Those are the things we need to address.
Okay.
Now, you're much memofono NDA. Now, if you went to any timina come in Kinkiti, the Ashisha Honomono, you more dialogical way. And so remove all those blocks. And not yes, Aboriginal.
Okay.
So your friend say Omampeni or Labere Kanye or on the Facebook page. Also say institutional coups no ejaya military coups will stop.
So on that point, once I can say because Mite wo any Adib any Palgrave, Munina Moja to Muse ECOWAS any sort day force echo Niger now. One let's state fundamentals be a mass animal way in a air console. Question is there be partner ECOWAS between me then if say or the military qua. And you will see a preventing these things from happening. Once you identify the fundamentals, a crime be na equals fast or to me a way so that any more way you who could attempt in the Kusinano in West Africa.
As I say, one, each other's keeper. Say Niger a war problem with France. As I say, ECOWAS as a bloc because the UN recognizes regional blocs as a supreme entity. Say also omutumi edi omo so nti say wonua ewo ahokyeremu a say wotu saa ahokyere no anamo mentwen ma oyene ma ansana wabaye say oba be exercise wo be exercise wo internal powers na wo no enokra no enya that's not the first option say we take it. Two, yen say there ya kama ye ho say within and among ourselves no when I before so I be the who kita ho ye friend say who nsem somebody can ya block a friend say borders anyo na dey say eba krom ha krama yetumi didi adwuma kra a short no kra no e dey other friend repercussion e dey ba on minus no won economic issues no kan no manyina o say yetumi ye free honom this artificial blocks no e say yetumi e free honom na e see no ya ka say yentumi hwe say this common currency issues no ye betumi enya yankasa ye common currency ye betumi dey di ye huduma. So the issues are there, they know it. As I say, we know, for instance, Eba Accra initiative for offense Omampeni Akufo-Addo initiative, it was a good thing because when who said the vision who said no say yentumi didi ye ho komo na dia ya kama ya on yentumi a implement ya yankasa ye demu entumi ensiye enti kwen o say fa so enti sa na say ye na yetumi ema offense sub region no ebe peaceful. Look, okay. Ghana is in a dire situation and I can sometimes among for kasa I say you want to promote some offense a chaotic situation in the country. No, what said their AC around us in Ghana no a se better fact yetumi atoto ye nyoma ekosim pempenso bia amanyi na agye atum no eba na efi the extra responsibility na the boss because obi efi Niger eba obi efi Benin eba obi efi Burkina Faso eba obi efi Mali eba yentumi nkasa ye dan eti e de amomo as humanitarian as we are and we have been no as I say yetumi bie ya funu mu e wo kwampa so na yetumi ede masa nkofo ye de anya sa akwa yenkura no a ye gi atum say ye the beacon of hope for Africa no eba na enukura so Brazil. So we need to come together as a people. Ye leaders no nyamo ho sam petmenkunya any time nyoma na omo de ti omo ni so any that wo ba omo any omo na fofo omo ni omo family any those kind of things, those things are not helping us in making sure say that democratic governance system na here practice no ko ye di amaya. And I think those are the things we are supposed to ensure say we remove those barriers from the region.
Dr. Sadiq Edu true medase pa say onyamre join here the din komo on Nnawotwi Yi on Adom TV ni Asempa 94.7 FM. Adib Sani ewo Zoom. Me nene nwie na membra Palgrave. Okay, great. And member Palgrave. So now it looks like Momi and saying Majatum say military intervention is not the way to go. So in the coming days, that didn't need that concept was between here. Already Omaka say standby force in there anytime on the Ombeko. But you're also saying say, well, let's continue with the other measures and if we can deal with it. So in the coming days, what should ECOWAS do?
Say ECOWAS the almost the sanctions not to one. A very, very strong sanctions. Me assure say almost so.
Okay.
To its logical conclusion. But in the midst of that, may I also say the various chief of defense staffs, ECOWAS chief of defense staffs, on planning meeting.
Okay.
Because we say ECOWAS the sanctions not to one, then there must be an implementation team.
Yeah.
On my last resort, no, military standby force. But I say Nkomodeni nyako focus on that. But it's been part of ECOWAS protocols from 1975 till date.
What do you know, sir, or more? Aside the
although, sir, definitely there are diplomatic measures. Yes, diplomatic nkomodi to make sure, say, peace will prevail within the sub-region. And I mean, no doubt in my mind, say, at the end of the day, no Niger for whatever, however it takes, sure say they will return back to constitutional rule.
Okay.
If it means say be a military junta or be resign if military, you know, be contested at president, and we've seen some before.
Okay.
I mean, in this sub-region, whatever it is, you see in your day in Bible and yakasa support you.
Okay.
It will not deteriorate further.
Okay. All right, that's fine. But whilst at it, there in Ghana earlier, okay, but maybe I feel no, we are joining. Then Ghana by a year, but Ghanaians on one Niger now.
So Ghanaians on one Niger now. Ghana for Bampin and other Dankwe Kufuor buying any Ministry of Foreign Affairs, National Security, Ministry of Interior, the Ghana mission in Niger. Yasha say any Ghana for Asia. Yasha say evacuate. A number of them are willing to come back home. So, in the last year and this year, now if I finish training, I feel where I have been. Evacuations, kakra. Russia for invading Ukraine. Evacuation of Ghanaian students and Umusia de South Sudan in Tokasi, Ghanaian students Umusia de evacuation. This are third. It was best practices be a
okay.
You activate all the protocols. To make sure say Ghana for is safe. Buying it take a bit of some measures.
Okay.
Any resources available buying be making sure say Ghana for ninya safely to Ghana.
Okay.
Council as ECOWAS for a close airspace. It's Ghana for you don't be by road.
Okay.
Through the Benin corridors.
Okay.
I don't know. ECOWAS who any fraternity near whom you work in your CBS.
Okay.
It's all well and good.
Okay.
Buying born home
okay.
Ghana
and so far Ghana for sign and register some person buffet.
At the moment the numbers don't keep coming in.
Okay.
Every now and then. It's I'll check again and then let you know maybe how you do in terms of numbers.
As of the last count.
As in the hundreds
okay.
of people are more willing to come back home.
Okay. All right. But that's it. Palgrave Boache Dankwa government spokesperson on governance and security. Well, Yanko a second issue, which is the Bank of Ghana and Seminole. So, no, Palgrave Ewaha, Eric J, Deputy Communications Officer for the NDC in Bono region. Wababa Kansa, Nemo, Yanko shed down for no musi worth $250 million. Now, what you me bwana echo ho, reja pay mu now the Yanko shed down, no ye bar.
So this is Ridge. What you're seeing behind me is the new Bank of Ghana head office. It is directly opposite the Ridge Hospital and also adjacent the Fidelity head office within the Ridge area. It's also close to the Ghana Maritime Authority office here. So if you know Ridge, it is within this enclave that the new building is. These are two structures, both comprising several levels of of offices. Now the first one, I've been there, I counted between 9 and 11. The second one, which is of course the one in front, would also have between about 12 levels, because my eye can see up to the 9th level, and there are 3 more above the 9th. Now the first one, which is about between 9 and 11, has an underground. What we know from what we saw was that steel benders are seriously on site working to ensure that they make the structures available for concrete works to be done to form some of the pillars at, I think, on the 6th level. I mean, all the levels have numbers by them. Where the workers are is the one they've labeled L6, which tell us that it could be the level 6. So this is what they're doing. But I conferred from some of them and really saw on the frontage of the helmet they wore that the name of the company in charge is Gold Key. And they tell me it's Gold Key Development. That's the company executing the project. They've already erected the structure itself. What they're doing now is to, I think, reinforcement going on, and then the final work would also take place. So that is what is happening here at Rage at the new Bank of Ghana building. Now, beside it, beside this tall building, there is another building that is not as tall as this, and a very large area that we anticipate will be used as a car space. It's really a huge building. As for that, I should really admit that it's a huge building.
Well, so when we are anyway any new office and a headquarters of the Bank of Ghana, and directly opposite Ridge Hospital. And it's only Ridge Hospital. Ridge Hospital, and nimwa ubunse a 19 be air basro on the opposite, and no NSR dino adjacent Fidelity into between Fidelity head office and a Ridge Hospital. A dying 2 year away. And a Bank of Ghana for a dino. Well, Eric J. Be our call.
Yamiado now say.
Adom. The out catch them off and the other make off.
We may pay you for a show. Say my elite something and beyond my control. Okay. Many messages be on my phone now and now.
Oh, hey, yeah. Okay. They are also cross on the web bedroom. Yenko Bank of Ghana. And they enam omon sense me buy losses on munya I mean over 60 billion loss. We've heard a lot of analysts like I say.
Loss on a canitri
Sika omoshre. Says an
cow boy.
And a cow boy. Okay, you a cow boy over 60 billion. And go for Miami minority class. BOG governor MFI so yes or Mamba occupy a dino. Or Jane was saying,
Medasminia. The DKM say, Namo can't Niger issue no seconds. Your best President Kufuor, Esreno. We inquire there, a bayanko nini fiasem, Esreno.
ECOWAS is a body.
ECOWAS.
Who bet me to say was there?
Association of Old Men, Yamoko meeting. I'm fast winning so. That is ECOWAS. That is the definition.
Oh, but no.
But
no, if you say that, you remember sir, at a point in time,
and I may say,
John, His Excellency John,
and I may old, me defining
a young man,
defining ECOWAS in a year woman. ECOWAS year woman, I know.
Oh yeah, selective.
Not selective
because we need partner to visit.
Not that. What they and no picture no one Ribiana. When one of them na hono. Oh, Tinubu, what was some parfum? Who could react trading? Where in Ghana? Senior, we should stop certain things. What, you see, I don't support any coup d'etat. But your colleagues in Africa, Kuaba, even the approach in resolving the matter is wrong. You don't meet as Old Men Association, Namakokase.
No, as for that,
sorry. You don't meet as
ECOWAS, head of state.
You don't meet as those people, Namako Transiakase. Omunani to me fama nipa na omo Jeffrey ni se na nye sade amomo beti omo so atua yete Ghana ha boko unim nipa akanchi na gu afiwe nkwa yani in this country
we have
yetimi masundwe ba boko
onansa sisi asundwe
masa they should stop it kan yenka they should stop it Utinubu Boko Haram for aje part of Nigeria you can't fight them and you are telling us that we wage war in Niger. That is not the approach in here wrong. Senior, I am telling you the gospel truth. So move through so mo ko Niger, mo mra na ya jebe 3 akonya. President no mo omo anko for kono. President Kufuor should be very careful.
And then no monye.
Mo ne nkofo nkasa na abotoye mu mra, mo nya abotre. One say in times of crisis no, approach the solving no, so they should know baby omodri ana meboa. Okra na me no afi na yesi so no. Ye nim say nyina nkra ne mu ntete nkra ne ana meboa. And I didn't see and share euphoria about my numa when I was in penny for the yes, sir.
All right, you.
Careful.
Yanko issue so.
Medas.
I don't know, my 7 minutes also.
Bank of Ghana. o kan masam kra hu baby a o kan free na de ye ne Nnawotwi mu ni say yen sentrofo nhyiamu na sentrofo nhyiamu aye na yebusa nsemienu eno so na ne egina ye de ye yen sentrofo nhyiamu ni de di kan aye sika hodo a Bank of Ghana print ma Alhaji Bawumia na Nado aban ena de toso mienu nso ye omo reporter ewo omo sites expenditure kwan omo fa so di omo sika ne e ka aba eno ho asem ne e kan. There are things that within the week, so almost some useless response about because response is useless because and some na address Ghana for no no mobile respond there. Omwa ebo omunyum na no mosa. So formal response na there's nowhere omwa address is printing na kasa na ye ka ho asem no. Na ebi Ghana ni bi nti ase. Ye Ghana mra which is articulated 183 econo. A Central Bank Jumedia Udi as bank batan or mine. And Untino, some may know I was a yetimum for a dim rasono. Once a year creature by law, I was almost Jumedia no Mudino, or Mudim raso. Now, Osha Mrana, Bank of Ghana, the Jumana. Bank of Ghana, or Hong Kong say, with me print this card the boy by beer, this one, you can say, this one as sunny. But acquires a Bank of Ghana where buy no. And I said the President Kufuor no ne adwuma dey a different from obi apenso. And into ye raise factors be say ahokyere na aba na inflation dey America ekosoro no. President Kufuor ne ba Bawumia ne Bank of Ghana for na created that hardship e dey amatime for. Because they've explained economist Bawumia ne ko ni school no ko anything.
Simon Fraser.
On the question economics no buy. But the question buy no when me and Ghana for said the more you print money in the system no, it creates the artificial inflation. No. Or your economist. I am not economist. And that is the truth. In 2021, Omo printed 35 billion Ghana cedis at my bank of Kufuor aban. Now the Yemra ne say so be print sika dey so aban na senior. In the previous year no ultimate printing 5%. So in the previous year now, in 2020 now, yesika edi ne samre na 55 billion no. Menu na otro BC owie nra no say o calculate 5% of 55 billion na. Ebe man around 2.8 billion. But under the logic of Alhaji Bawumia and Nado, almost 5% no, 35 billion. So they printed that money for the government. Now Emrana so say so print sika ne de ma buy na within 3 months, it was a buying it me to back. So buying it me and back, and what's all money beam. Until within 3 months, and so you're no month here, and you sign for 2022. After 2022, no so almost
sign. Can lending to the government and as a problem practice come a government.
And so I'm making overdraft no more than my government, no more time I'm using. And I knew. And that's that term. And oh, we can.
No.
Very good. Enti emrano de emrane ka no eno omo anye ye ko afi 2022 eno omo san ko print 45 billion e de ma ban meaning say your previous year no so na 2021 your revenue was around 75 billion what I say and this all printing a 5% enya ade na was say do even 4 billion kra but according to the logic of Alhaji Bawumia ne na Nado Dankwa Kufuor 5% of 75 billion or so no 45 billion and they printed it again na omo yes anyema we nyina no na omo nim se Ghana for no mo create how edema
and onje Bank of Ghana for chemron there because they are omo say Bank of Ghana deems it necessary to provide clarity on the issue and to set the record straight. The amount of 22.04 billion cedis represents net claims on government and not new currency printed to support government's budget. The net claims of 22.04 billion has the following component. GOG stocks and bonds sold by commercial banks to Bank of Ghana under repurchase agreement by which the banks routinely manage their liquidity positions. 2. IMF SDR allocation disbursed to government through Bank of Ghana. Drawdown of government's own deposit held with Bank of Ghana a negative balance on government's account with Bank of Ghana at a point in time and self-liquidated as new government deposits are credited to the account.
80 billion as 7 year can have you. Omunya de omokeka. What say?
Say 80 billion one day. Omudin kishima ba say the domestic debt exchange to
entasum. Na wo eto asum. We a young man. Kasa no mo kasa na so mo nko na adwene aboada omutim.
They should man print this card. That's what they want to do.
Na mo ye ne den. Man watch room ultimi treska. Utreska. Money in circulation increased by 51%. Inti no RKJ me na nakosu atwene wa na twa sika osuma de bai. They shouldn't talk that way. Eyanim tiebu. Enti the year can say how they printed the monies in the system. And no more create artificial inflation they are Ghana for. Inti na woti we. Wakatua 5,000 Ghana cedis. Sika ade ana wotimi de 100 Ghana ton in there. What the better 300 Ghana cedis na there eto. Because sika no aba system no. Na kodi kakra bi nsem na chase fewer goods na wo nti na the whole of Africa all kan mana omaduane boaden. Look at our food inflation. But we did planting for food and job, of which are annual beneficial to the economy. At the same time, July inflation is now around 43.1%. What am I saying? Even Ukraine krana Russia for sending to the Guamosono. Our inflation is around 11.3%. So what am I saying? So where they've taken the economy to, are too serious. And I can say, that is not what the law says. Enti obia ana juma wudia we creature of law emra na ama okwanya udi juma na emra ne sisi ni sei na oye no o ya say be say was all them ratoto sina don't forget say ansa na ye papa kofo ko before ansa na ye be amend this amra no now we akwanya say ultimately 10% of your previous you can say sika wadi asaban. But in the wisdom of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, ye be samra ne 10 so be 5%. In 2016 krana election year, zero financing. Yeah, even a peso from Bank of Ghana. Because we did all these things because yenim said the ebeye bia na sunsun sanso no timemufo na be feel. That is the percentage of Bank of Ghana sika mfaso munya meboa. In the previous year. Yeah, 5%. Yeah. Wow, nti ya samre no na nurse fu sun alawa. Election year o. But yes atwam. Teacher for say we obi esu okruma, but His Excellency John Dramani Mahama say konfobonensi o man be boy den otimu bi enti yenya asa ne enti yanye bi. In 2016 Bank of Ghana make a profit of 700 million. Yes. O make a profit of 700 million ye penso no. Na the Bank of Ghana wo nidwa o nton kako o nto banche o nto bode nton ye da sorry I don't abeka kire say wo aboka 60.8 billion na ye kohwe expenditure wo de be kire ya o be ka kire say foreign and domestic travels no e cost 974 billion old Ghana cedis. Senior sebi impreduasa o manya de bia ensa hye nipa botum ayesrade yetimika say the 974 billion e de atu akwan 974 billion old Ghana cedis. Yeah, ebiem and you want new cedis as saying oh new cedis in they say no ye 97.4 million ba old na ya na me ma memotiase. Okay. Ebiem almost say communication expenses and also 320 billion Ghana cedis. Omo mo ka ho bi omo so omo bo advert multimedia bi omo de bi ba ha na mo ko ho so amoje sole na adia na ana mo ko yi manu 320 central for say mo ka 320 billion senior so outrageous madam anusi form no dem ba ma fa ba kon ka ho na member 7 hold on Mr. Babaka no ato so yeah program so baby we are in very troubling times. Bank of Ghana achurches but the expenses on traveling and all of that, can't the Bank of Ghana the circumstances here no more catch according to not even their size but according to the conditions of the economy?
Kojo ye di central bank na de bia maka say Central Bank of Ghana ye bank say Central Bank audited
sorry but your mama also 7 why
but Central Bank audited report about out na ye didi ho komo e see ye didi ho komo in perspective of Nemesis. Yaka Bank of Ghana assassinate a diner or musino, a wholesome and bracacra. Bank of Ghana for say baby your central bank no one. It was structural challenges. A check. Ebia from the time of the Gotjesbeck, your central bank.
Constituency for Hill.
So now in the Fourth Republic from 1990, central bank esiki say omobe pass as no more from 1990. That's over 33 years. Over 33 years. Now, she asembio kojo on pese dachi bi anopa ye be sorry. Na yate say Bank of Ghana dino ebubu. Central for what is them. Ene Eric oye NDC ni. Ebeka say central bank for omon drain e hwe kan. Na de tina mo atena ho amamu dan ebubu ogumo so. Na na mo nim se mo be fast structural engineers. And as we maintain, yemba from 1990. Our central bank for cars on pay assassin edisi dan. Eba even to 2012. 2012, omunya assassin be 5.19 acre of land be an ton about 791,580 Ghana cedis. Omuye due diligence no mo say embo omo. No mo jatu. 2013 Kwame Iwadakun LED so no so ekoton asasi biama Central Bank at a cost of about $32 million, $313,000, and also about 5.341 acre of land. And also mo ye due diligence no mo say ngade ebebo. Now yen konko yenim kakra 2014 and also omunya asasi bi about 7 acres of land, the cost of about $21 million. And also, some year due diligence, no one say, Chronebobi, a baby, 2015, Achimota Forest, 20 acres of land, $2.5 million. And also, Bank of Ghana, say, now, the Bank of Ghana, I could locate, baby, I'll call ya. Rage ya umuye. Some de babe see your central bank. Abo ye sika ho ban. Ahwe senya Ghana man no ebetumi akọ nenim da.
No motor on the sign. Good. E ho na me pen. No. That's a you see, let's be honest. Or no nebusa.
Come in, na oko we bi so mo.
You go come no yin ending come.
And you nebusa no. Yes.
Omo de no motor.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Ahina out here.
One more.
And na wa me we ya bo be news to.
Yes. Say me educated.
Osifa to aso.
Hey, nade.
No. For we to aso.
And me di me come na me di me come na me di me come. So ambushi be ni. Kojo na minute he. Yedi nkomo ya.
We yet on the same.
Me nkomo.
Yet on the same.
Good. Nkomo.
How many acres?
Me di me nkomo.
Agree. We yet on the same.
Baby akoye no. Ohun ye.
Me ko wura ho. Na me ka wor ko. Mo say. Omo ni min nin nkomo.
Odi we ni hu ya me
don't me yes.
Na me me sabe ya.
Na ya wo na yes aba.
That na me kra me book na mo hwehwem sa. Hey, na bush ben kra ni.
Agree. Mo to on the same.
There be na tubo.
Okay, ode to aso.
Me di me komo, mama me di me komo na bush be ni.
Ode to aso.
Hey, kojo me no ti he answer na Ricky boy na me no ye fine o.
Ode to aso.
Na fe ya de
answer. Na oso na onye fine.
Na de na sere mo aka me akomo ye sandwich.
To aso. To aso. Yenko.
Na o ka 250 million ye de. Ye di si dan.
Na asase no out of.
Asase bo na na okekan. Yes.
Na de.
What about NDC for the African?
I said, my boy, make NDC.
2012. We were in government then.
No, but make NDC.
Make your point, please. Make your point.
Making me point in the book. Hey, that made making me point. Educating the Ghanaian people.
Your time, your time, you saw there to us.
Me know what here, fine.
Oh no, I'm person or cassava home. Nothing all you doing.
Na Bank of Ghana say almost structural challenges. Ewo baby on one. Inti almost sit down. Baby alcohol. Come. I be costing 250.
Okay.
Omu di si dayama say your central bank ehun be ye okay ama ya and also a yasem.
But Paul Grave, you say, oh, dear, be a coin. It's an can be as you are doing around your soon a fatay. Yes, also more structural problems. But you know, soon I say, on mine, we are going through period that ye won't be that. It is all go through period that on mine yet in India. One should you me woo. Oja house me kwa considering when will be out him.
Unim, kodo. A buying beer ewo initiative. A buying ewo value chain of Jumadia oye. Now I say a buying to me meeting all the value chain no Jumadia is oye. And I say a buying meeting every aspect of it. Ghana Hanum, President Nana Danko Kufuor Jumadia Odi a so Ghana fweni or twaso aye. A buying the value chain Jumadia so ye no. Bomodi aye. Sandi Juma so ye no. It is a Bank of Ghana see person mukoko si die we are. For me, and I'm sure for you. Send the name Eric da or Tine Bebeni de. But a year for Ghana that.
Anyway, I mean, because because I'm speaking for the ordinary Ghanaian semi. So in the period the year say, oh my new memoir thing. Ye nisika, ye we are look, the road in me club from Takrady to Agunan Kwanta is the worst road in the whole of the western region. But also good need manganese a ye chifa kwino so. In a Hunter West, aside upon mobile amuye pavement. Any friends say Princess Town. Paved road. I can't be bring into me a metewa me come mikro me bre. Naso okache me say ye na 250 million go anke between die baby. Na mom ye dey sit down when Bank of Ghana more dying. For fra, officer me no buy adwin. In this period, we are not in a period where ye hotoye o.
Kojo me tretre mu a, onim buy adwin. Na me tretre.
Okay.
Me tretre mu say Bank of Ghana say, omo dying na omo team. Ebu structural challenges. Ebu. Na ebu a mpacho obeso mo yede. Enye no one say as a thinking government, a thinking governor. Omo de nhihye tutu ono. Me say omo starting so omo peso omo si dan fufuro no. 33 years ago.
Okay.
33 years ago. Ebi obi kro hwe me kra we 17 kra ne ho no. And I say Eric Bay or ne ho no.
Okay. With the fire me ankasa. Me na peso okay.
That's how we win in 33. We the 40.
Okay, for honest na men
Bank of Ghana the any day. Yen trainer yen discussing circumspectively.
Okay.
It's our central bank is the highest form of security for us as a buying any or mine.
Okay.
Now me gidi say name ye dia tutu we dia. Ghana for many beji say ye making sure say there's an alternative. I said that a dino cry and train me book. Now you're moving to this new structure.
Okay, all right, Mate. Memo just 1 minute I can because I'm also tie or extra margin for name our come.
Sina one day.
Mama 1 minute. Chase, o de chase mama.
Oh, asema ubisa na ode wan you know things say no credit free nenum. Senior, will be the 200 and yeah my NDC $200 million say fancy apartments. It was saglimi because Ghana afforded one enya baby na. Almost you use almost $200 million. At the see a 9,500. It was saglimi. Ye many pentum kwatina mukra na dane bwachi bidi. And they are telling us say sika ye almost 70% at 6,500 apartment. It was saglimi no. Omo the $250 million AC headquarters na near reasonable. Now kind Bank of Ghana feedback kind of response no more dem na. Almost baby a dine where earthquake prone area. Presidency, Jubilee House, our earthquake prone area. And also Mbebuaguana. Bank of England, you see in 1694. The same building no modasote. Where Jumana was a trend and Numuya, and to me, what bore mine or negative equity of 55.1 billion. The Chinese say what the Kayaton were Japadi in a car, so balance your negative. Na papa utifia or you didn't know Mayari. Asupiti now do you don't know mabekwa na say ubesi fianza usidan we order makwa asupiti. You should reason a bit. Where common sense because me come area okohu akwan a e wo German not. Na obi o German not ono send sika ye te na e-levy. na no ada ya pass 3 taxes ayete no ade obebi ayete ne tax na what say the $250 million AC Bank of Ghana dan Bank of Ghana no so ye adwuma aka na ogba. Does it make sense? Ade bi wa monfa fie nyansa nto ho kakra. That is my problem with them. Because me no kasa sisi the state na ye wo mu no senior say otisi krom now dey oka ugina traffic na mebuno no ekuta sa de ne people's windscreen. How do you feel? The AC wo Niger no factors are see attention showbon ebi wo krom oh you don't know. Emebunu nya adwuma nye. And then kwada omoye national service. Almost akatua be 3 months kra untimi ntua. Napkofo ayi omodi akotena fie. 9 months omokatua kam. And kwada ekosuku esua de almost 4 good years untimi printed textbooks. And a car abandoned by faster in Niani kwada di. You can't pay. Contractors ye de omoka over 15 billion. And the kokobodagu state institution mu dini nyina ajeje besia mani nyina gu. It is such nipa no wo forma ne ho kire no no tese nkomo bi sei na wodia. You are not being fair. Nti e besre mo etoda mon kai se mu free baby na eba wo. Okay. Akwanya bi ne wanya ne keke because okomi krum na obi tese wo wadi kan kura kotua $2 million enka wo be ye keteke e fasora. No ne krum kwan untimi ye ho hwea. You think the person will be happy? No wa kan in the same report to say wakoto watch nkwan $2 million. Na dem bobokala mo watch na no ne Bank of Ghana is in the report. Almost say watches a cost $2 million. Hey, watch me. That is the problem we have as a nation. Now, undisclosed amounts, once a draw budget, you will figure a DB edition say miscellaneous. So, who's adding? Yeah, I know this can't get to be a show. Okay. When you say miscellaneous, never budget, a chance you cannot move. Over trillions. Mammy, Mimbia, Matromana, Obeason to me, Freddy. Oh, go to air share Nnawotwi Yi, Adom TV. A channel so was empire for baby I want patch over to me a friend near the home come 0302211701 0302211701 1 no obet me asana and 2 obet me and 3 obet me and 4 now Insiake Abraham on Facebook or say this MPP government never listens to good advice from the good people of Ghana. No wonder the economy of Ghana has collapsed under the mismanagement and bad economy policies of this government. Communication expenses BOG caused the suffering taxpayer whopping 32 million cedis in 2022 alone. So Adom TV, did you have some? From I love you, says we are so ayer chrome. Obet me afre 0302211701 na yen wedding and komo. In Siasa, my fellow Ghanaians for Akufo-Addo to deploy the military personnel to Niger, I will humbly request him to rather consider all his MPP supporters, communication workers and officers, and the MPP MPs led by the other DACON to bring deployment. Okay, I mean, one time I'm interested. Or see, I'm MPP for non-co war, and they're supporting. Anyway, Majid, Ewa Homan. So, Majid, me pacho, me das so afraid. Me menti wa juntre. Hello, Majid. Good morning. Pacho menti TV no, tie phone and kasa na me no ndin komo. Why?
All right.
Yanko. Mesro, so fra aya reduce volume on the TV, menti TV no tie phone no. Na yending komo ofra obo din ana afi de yetumi afa wato betumi afre 0302211701 0302211701 ana 1 no ID to no betumi aye no 2 betumi aye 3 betumi aye 4 na Noah the ark builder say we all know that first thing first. That's why in the beginning God created heavens and earth. So why so I say unto you number 1, Honorable Kennedy Okonkwo Japan is the way, the truth, and the light to the development of this country. Because if Mr. Naked promised to give you clothing, take a breath and listen to his name. Okay. All right. Paul, but Maminti waje intre why Paul?
Now there's a interpreter.
Except me.
We are sending the message. Now you interpreter.
Is it Paul? Okay. Dominic, Maminti where?
Hello.
Mbacho Paul na misakani. Paul mbacho Mamintio.
Yo, yeah. No kate wakum koi anye. Hello. No kate wo.
Mikrum kwa de anye kra.
Wo si anye. So kro kwa ne chafe fe da be.
Oh, and the ache. Me come kwasa say I ache ane.
Mama so ba e ba e ko.
Me jitum sa ane.
Na sine discuss e ko yere confirm. Pacho e betima e di magan confirm what say.
Ah, dabi o. Ba no so ntina yi o mo fie konyan mo e de MPP ba ye.
Priorities. The Bank of Ghana is the highest security area in all of Ghana. The Bank of Ghana is good. I'm telling you, the Ecomono, that I check you want to see it.
Okay.
And your first year, the say, or maybe you let's get the answer, baby.
Okay.
Or maybe no matter what, one time you now do rap to my then. I tell you from the assassin of motor, the same engineers. Yeah, the guy find their real key.
Okay.
But it's so maybe you know what you can. You sleep with your contact. It's more than
okay.
I'm making sure I'm intact. China say from so mubu akuntan ya mo man be bu akuntan bi se bi akola keto akora na ento sumu ma no enimo mu ne ehwehwe intervested but the dey dey fo aso na mbom sikare na e wo say ni nyina nkọ ho enko ba say o matiti dey akọhye agrofo bi botu ani ne hia that's it.
Majid ewa homa so Majid bacho ma minti wadwunche
bacho ni me work can say in hello
me bacho minti o ma minti o
yeah bacho ni we work can say in fact say being for your creative so o kan hu say ni pa ye show mo the sebi yes ye won yansa na ye because you do ha so be creative na o kan me ameye mabuna me show no in fact na o dia bu bi e shelu ni because ye to man we mu every next at this critical time when the time came when educate what do you want us to it is very disheartening.
Okay.
In fact, I'm going to let you so I'm going to collect a crowd.
Yo.
MVP, and some all come on one the question be of vitamin. What's me and you? Which shows that you all come on one.
Okay, yo, Mate, Medase, Akismi said with all these corruption under MPP government, still some Ghanaians will vote for them. Again, greetings to BBNE and Yansubekwa NDC Communication Officer Teacher Koning. Well, Adibia washa se bia de we wie enti se ne yesisa ase no sa na ebe wie meda mabedwa for ase program watch dankwa ene
na my keke benya
ye time na so
aka 6 minutes
time no dey so that time time aso nti
ache webex here pa na che
ono ambantem
senior ono ambantem nipa na
afeli oba be kase
let me measure camera mun kase unche nipa ancestor I hear na me word night hash. You see,
okay.
I thought that we should apply adwina yankopon de adom ye. I confirm onye rupelu.
All right.
But you were able to lie in this country so I confirm it too. One said that will be tima.
All right. So, yebedo bi ase, yebesan ehia na watchia eda ye nemu aha Adom TV dwumadi Nnawotwi Yi ensan hia bio yeda ase se watchia yeda ase se wutie ye. Yebesan hia na watchia eda ye. On behalf of the team, Nasienko Emao, good morning.